You're listening to QueerCorps on CKUT 90.3 FM or ckut.ca on the internet. We are joined today with Hannah Morrow, the co-director of the current Glam Gam show Turning Tricks at the Fringe coming up this weekend, and Phoenix Wood, one of their stars. Mm-hmm. Welcome to QueerCorps.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.
So the show's entitled Turning Tricks. It starts this weekend at the Café Cléopâtre. And maybe we can start by having the two of you tell us how this show might differ from some of Glam Gam's previous shows.
Do you want me to take that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've been with Glam Gam for about 5 years now. We've been doing scripted shows for the last 5 years too, which is different from what we began as. We were a variety show troupe, and we would put on all these variety shows that had absolutely no logic or reason, and they'd be spectacular. And then we started to collaborate more often and put together scripted shows. The scripting was very light at first, and then it got more and more complex. And this show is, I think, our most plot driven. So the plot actually makes sense and is, I think, pretty well crafted. It's not just like an excuse to get naked, although there is quite a bit of nudity. We have been called barely burlesque before, just because people don't expect what they get when they come to a Glam Gam show. It's really barely burlesque. It's more vaudeville. I think that's more accurate.
Well, you guys have never been interested in categories.
Yeah, that's true. We break them all.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always been very organic modes of expression. And I think in terms of just having been someone who's come in specifically for this process, having been an audience member in the past, and then just being integrated recently, I must say that from the very beginning, the group's dedication recently to really applying yourselves to create better quality and, as you say, more well-crafted work was very clear from the beginning. And that was one of the reasons that I was most excited to get involved. And I think that this show, it still retains the irreverent spirit of the body positivity, the sex positivity, all of that really fun stuff that Glam Gam has been made popular for, while at the same time the plot, I feel, actually makes a really interesting comment on society.
What is this plot?
Well, we can't tell you too much because you'll have to come and see for yourself, but it's we started with the theme of magic, and that took us through a lot of our understanding of modern relations and how we interact with each other today. I'll let you talk a bit about that, Hannah.
Yeah, well, the show is called Turning Tricks, which is a double entendre for magic and for sex work. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of the starting point, I think. I think from the beginning, part of the idea was too that we're going to donate part of our money that we make to Stella, the community organization in Hochelaga that's by and for sex workers, and the characters are sex workers, and but the that's not really what it's about. So it's interesting because we have sex worker characters, but it's not about. It's just an aspect of their character and their personality and how they make money, and it's
part of their magic or their vagic.
Their vagic, yeah. Yeah, and then the idea of magic ended up, we ended up exploring the idea of technology and how in 2014 our bodies relate to technology. That just kind of organically came in with the theme of magic, and let's just say some epic adventures take place that have to do with confrontations with technology and
super beings.
Yeah, super beings.
So for listeners who might not be that familiar with Glam Gam, what can they expect at a show?
What can you expect at a Glam Gam show? Well, there's a splash zone for a reason. You're sure to get wet if you're not careful. Even if you are careful, you might get wet. It's messy. We tend to be messy. We like really putting our backs out for the show and pulling out all the stops, and just there's all kinds of twists and huge impossible sets, and you'll wonder how we possibly hid all of that set and how we brought it down, and it's going to be a sensory overload. If nothing else.
I would say expect the unexpected.
Because it's at the Fringe, but to call it just a play would be very much an understatement.
Absolutely.
Right? There's going to be music.
At least,
There's going to be some dancing.
Circus, drag, all kinds of alternative performance. We've had some. We've worked with so many different people in Montreal in the past that it's really hard to categorize what we do.
There's even stripping, like just and like
pole dancing.
Pole dancing, stripping. There's puppet.
Yeah.
There's a puppet in there.
There's video. There's all kinds of disciplines mixed and matched.
Yeah.
Now, Glam Gam this year reigns supreme again atop the Best of Montreal polls in Cult Mag.
Yeah, we beat the Royal Canadian, the ballet.
Why do you think there's been such a response to the kind of performance that Glam Gam does?
Well, my instinct is to say that because Glam Gam is such a wide network of people. I mean, I would think that part of the reason why there were so many votes cast is just because Glam Gam is a really open, accepting group of people who is always interested in working with more. Like we were just saying about how the show is so multidisciplinary. It's because we're always open to new ideas and people are always wanting to join in on the fun. So over the past 5 years, it's really accumulated. Like I'm one of the people that got accumulated into their folds, for instance, and because just for this show, we don't even know how many people are involved. Over 20 people, or approximately 20 people.
And I don't think that even includes, we have a special guest appearance every single night of a show. So that's like 10 extra people it's huge.
And that's just for this show. So the traction that you guys have gained over the past 5 years in terms of just numbers of people appreciating your existence, I feel.
Community theater. We got the whole community.
It pretty much is community theater. Community theater at Café Cléopâtre.
Yeah, of all places.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go to a quick song, and we will be back talking with Glam Gam right after this. Welcome back. You're listening to QueerCorps on CKUT 90.3 FM. The song you just heard was No Bra Candy. We are talking to Glam Gam, and I've just been informed that we have a pair of tickets to give away.
Yes, we do.
And so if you go to the QueerCorps Facebook page, which is, if you go on Facebook and search QueerCorps, QueerCorps, you'll find our Facebook page, and you will find on that Facebook page that we've posted the link to their Fringe show starting this Saturday at Café Cléopâtre. And if you comment on that post with a dirty poem, how long of a poem does it have to be? Does a couplet count?
A couplet counts.
Yeah.
The dirty couplet.
A haiku.
Oh.
A limerick. Yeah.
Any of those things.
Yeah.
Or a poem with no, particular meter. It doesn't have to, accord
Blank
to a
verse.
format. Yeah, exactly.
By the end of tonight?
Yeah, sure.
And then they will choose their favorite.
Yeah.
To win.
Nada and I will choose
2 tickets
We
to
will be the judges.
Yeah.
their choice of show. Is it? You have 10 shows coming out.
I'm not sure what date the ticket is, but we'll let you know.
You'll win a pair of tickets.
Yeah, you'll win a
Stay
pair.
tuned.
Yeah. This is potentially negotiable. So
right when we took the break, we were just discussing the overwhelming response that Glam Gam has received in the Best of Montreal polls. And I personally have always felt that part of it has to do with, in sort of alternative scenes in Montreal, there's a dwindling of that kind of camp trash aesthetic that Glam Gam keeps strong. It's very much in the John Waters train of history.
We're heavily inspired by John Waters. And Kids in the Hall and a bunch of other.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that wasn't a question. Sorry.
that's a really interesting. That's a really interesting
reflection.
It's true. There has been a lot of interesting cabarets that sort of stopped happening, like Cabaret Faux Pas and a bunch of other queer performance troupes. yeah, at this point, I think.
Also, I think something that about Glam Gam that's been really interesting to me is that, I mean, because, you know, in queer communities in Montreal, like there's sort of like gay communities and there's lesbian communities and then there's and Glam Gam is this very like pansexual. It's connected to this kind of it connects to like all kinds of sort of queer
and
communities
pansexual, like in the
Montreal.
small p, like it goes across all of them.
That's right.
That's kind of what I'm that's what I'm saying, and what I found striking about your shows when I first started going was that I was like, oh, I feel like any character might sleep with any other character, and it's like its sexuality as a thing kind of gets thrown up in the air and like let the chips fall where they may. And I feel like, you know, so many people just feel really like at ease being however they want to be, and yeah, so I feel like it just is inviting to people of multiple different, you know, because there's people in the troupe too who just identify as straight as well. So it really just kind of attracts people from all kinds of, yeah.
The influence stretches wide.
Yeah.
Now, I know you've been very tight-lipped around the plot, but can I read the back of the flyer?
Do.
Yeah, for sure.
If you'd like a dramatic voice, we could read too.
Oh, great. You guys read it.
Okay, Nada will read it.
Okay. Turning Tricks. The Gold Dust Women, a traveling freak show of swindling vaudevillians, are performing at the historic Café Cléopâtre. They find themselves over their heads when their scam to rip off local magician Nicholas Cherrywood backfires, causing them to face an evil cyber force more powerful than all of their magic combined. This spectacle combines dance, nudity, camp, and hilarity at its worst. $10 a ticket. June 7th, 14th, 21st. 9th, 10th, 11th, 17th, 13th, and 19th.
Yes. May I say, too, I was meditating today on the price of the ticket after having been at Cleo's for 13 hours yesterday and 11 hours the day before, spending so much time creating all of this work that we've put into it. I mean, I wouldn't raise the price because I want it to be really accessible, but I mean it's really
it's a bargain.
It's a real bargain for the spectacle that people are going to get out of it. We've constructed some serious stuff.
Yeah. Everything that you see is collectively created, from the script to the set to the choreography to everything. We have one final number that is completely choreographed by an external choreographer who we work with called Gabrielle Coulter. And she's fantastic. She's a great choreographer. We've worked with her at least twice. And we're hoping, you know, that also Hannah.
Yeah,
Hannah's.
I was an external.
She
addition.
came, but you're definitely internal now.
So just before we wrap this up, I also want to mention it's at the Café Cléopâtre.
Yes,
the little strip joint that could.
Yes.
Can you guys talk a little bit about Glam Gam's relationship with that space? Because it's a unique space.
Yeah, Nada should go first.
Okay, well, first thing I think of when someone asks me that question is, what do you know about Cleo's? Is that just the energy at Cleo's. We are there so often. I might as well have a toothbrush and a pair of, you know, pajama bottoms. I'm there so, like yesterday it was like a 13-hour day and the day before it was 11. And the place has such an energy and it's in the walls. We call them the ghosts of Cleo's and they haunt us and
And that's not even just metaphorical too. Like there are ghosts.
Apparently there are ghosts. People have
I really think I felt one pass through my body. I didn't tell you that story. Anyway,
a bit scary.
No, but it didn't feel scary. I was just trying to
benevolent ghost
uphold what you're saying.
It's true though. And whether it's, you know, our creativity, you know, taking a palpable energy or something, or the creativity of that area, that whole district. I mean, there's a bunch of performers and interesting things that happen at Cleo's, like the fetish nights, the, you know, Candy Ass Cabaret. There's us. There was like a new queer cabaret, Slippery Slope. There's a bunch of things happening at Cleo's all the time, especially that second floor. So it's really full of history, and it's full of, and it's really coming back now. So it's not just an old relic; it's coming to life all over again.
Yeah, it's really an energy center, and for me, it makes perfect sense that it would be the energy center that would attract the group of people that is Glam Gam, because yeah, again, that's sort of irreverent, it's Glam Gam is messy and so raw and beautiful in its dirtiness. And, Glam Gam is so like literally dirty. I mean, they don't clean it, right? Like we do our part to keep it, to maintain it. Yeah. And I think that the fact that it's not even cleaned makes it accessible for people to rent. It's not expensive to rent it as a venue, and we can go there and work on our stuff anytime that someone's
Johnny's
not there.
Amazing. He lets us in. He really trusts us, and he's renovating the upstairs, so it's starting to kind of get fixed up. It's
just it's really. I just feel that it's
special.
It's really,
like, even the soundboard there is really just trippy. Like, sometimes lights will work and sometimes they just won't. That's just how it is. It's Cleo's.
So the show begins this Saturday, June 7th. It's a 10-show run.
Yeah.
The start times vary for any schedule. Some start at 8. There's a double header on Friday, June 13th at both 8 and midnight. There's sure to be a time to fit your busy life.
Yes. Oh, and may we also add that June 19th, the show at 9 p.m., that Pomp, the queer party at Catacombs, is going to be our official after party for that show. Just up the street. So that is going to be a very fabulous night, and we will be having a wonderful time there if you would like to join us for the show and the party.
So again, you have been listening to Hannah Morrow and Phoenix Wood talk about the Glam Gam show, Turning Tricks, starting this Saturday, June 7th at Café Cléopâtre, 1230 Saint Laurent. It's just below St. Catherine. You should go. And we'll mention once again, before we leave, that we're giving away 2 tickets. If you go to the QueerCorps Facebook page, you will find a link to the show. And if you comment with some form of dirty poem, be it a limerick, a haiku, a couplet, blank verse, an epic,
a rap, whatever,
then you could be selected to win 2 tickets to one of the shows. Do it. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
so much.